Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So every once in a while I think that it's healthy for us as guitar players to go back and revisit some of our earliest influences to reignite that spark that we had for learning the instrument initially, and that is exactly what today's video is all about for me. One of the first rock bands that I was ever introduced to was AC/DC, and Angus Young, whether you like him or not, is one of the most influential rock guitar players of all time, which means he's one of the most influential guitar players of all time across the board. I think it'd be silly to argue otherwise. So today I want to talk about the thing that makes Angus Young stand out as a rock guitar player. In comparison to a lot of the guitar players that were coming up around the late 70s and all throughout the 80s, Angus wasn't exactly the most flashy player, but that just doesn't matter because he has such a cool, unique sound that has influenced countless guitarists over the years, and he continues to influence loads of guitar players. Now, his rig is about as simple as it gets when it comes to playing rock music. Literally just a Gibson SG into a Marshall Plexi or JMP or whatever, you know what I mean, and into two 4x12 cabinets. Of course, about 1,000 other cabinets on stage, none of them plugged in, but you know, it looks cool. And although the gear plays a big part in his overall sound, to me, it's his vibrato that makes him sound the way he does. Angus has this wild, unpredictable vibrato that makes him sound the way he does. You know when you're listening to Angus Young because of that vibrato. Same with someone like Zakk Wylde, who has a very distinctive vibrato as well. You know you're listening to Zakk Wylde because you can hear that crazy wide vibrato. So I want you to try this at home. Play a bend from 5 to 7 on the G string, and instead of actually bending the string up, I want you to pull the string down and add in some vibrato like this. And no, I did not buy a Gibson SG. I borrowed this from a friend of mine who runs a music hire company here in Edinburgh, which is where I live. And yeah, if you're ever here on tour and you need some gear to hire, I highly recommend Banana Row Music. They've got a great selection of stuff. So that sound you get when you pull on the strings and add vibrato instead of pushing up, that to me is the Angus Young vibrato sound. But the thing is, he's not actually pulling against the string, he's bending it up. So if you want to have that vibrato sound come out in your own playing, you're going to have to work on getting your bend vibrato to sound the same as it does when you pull against the string and add vibrato that way. I'd recommend practicing this by alternating between the two. So you could start by pulling against the string and adding vibrato, and then push up, bend the string upwards and add in vibrato, and try your best to emulate that sound that you get when you pull against and add the vibrato, like this. Now, pulling against the string and adding vibrato is a lot easier than bending and adding vibrato, but you don't want to pull against the string because when you do, you lose access to double stop notes. When you bend the string upwards, you do have easier access to all of these other notes in your pentatonic positions, like this. And it's definitely no secret that Angus uses pentatonic scales almost exclusively in his solos. So here is a pentatonic lick that you can practice at home to work on that vibrato sound. It's from the solo to Back in Black, and it goes like this. And really quickly before I break that down for you guys, if you're watching this and you have some understanding of pentatonic scales like the one I just demonstrated in that lick, but you're not totally comfortable when it comes to improvising with pentatonic scales all over the fretboard, check the link in the description because that's a 50% off coupon to my online course, Bulletproof Guitar Player. It teaches both the minor and major pentatonic scales in great depth all over the fretboard so that you're comfortable with them in improvisational settings. And of course, I teach you how to actually apply these scales to your improvisational playing as well. On top of that, there's a whole bunch of other lessons on various fundamental music theory concepts that you can actually apply to your guitar playing. So check that link out if you are interested. So there are 2 points in this lick where you can practice adding in that Angus Young vibrato. The first is when you bend up on fret 15 on the B string. The second is the very last note. So this note right here, which is fret 14 on the G string. Now obviously that note is not a bend, so you will find it easier to add in that vibrato, but be careful not to overdo the vibrato when you're playing notes that are not bends, because it can be easy to accidentally sort of go a bit too wide with it, and that's not what you want. Angus Young's vibrato is fast but shallow, so that means that the pitch is not fluctuating as much as it does on Zakk Wylde's vibrato, for example, which is like, what you want is this. So that's just something to bear in mind. Don't make it too wide. Keep it fast and shallow. Okay, that does it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown of Angus Young's playing style. As always, if you have suggestions for players that you'd like me to make videos about in the future, leave a comment. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up below and click subscribe for more. Cheers, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.